This EB3, Speaking the Truth in Love, and I just come on for a few minutes. I'm starting back on my evening walk. It's actually under 90 degrees at this point. It's been pretty hot over here in the South Mississippi. But like I said, this EB3, Speaking the Truth in Love, and I just come on for a few minutes to give you guys a word of encouragement. You know, just like getting your physical body in shape, which is what I'm trying to do, because over the last few years I was so busy taking care of everybody else, you know, being a mom, being a wife, till I looked up and I realized, hey, I ain't really been taking care of myself as much as I should. It's nobody's fault. It's just, that's where I feel, that's where I find myself being. Again, I take full responsibility for allowing myself to gain the weight that I gained. Not cooking as I should. Fast food. Can't blame it on the baby, because my baby is almost 14 next month, and I originally lost weight after I had my youngest, but honestly, life just happened. Life just happened, and I wasn't paying attention. Like I said, working, taking on more than maybe I should have been, running, trying to keep the boys out of stuff, out of the streets, as we say. It was worth it. I don't regret any of it, but now it's just time for me to, number one, get to know myself. What do I really like? Was the things that I like in based on the relationship I was in for these last 28 years, or was it really me? Because, you know, I was pretty young when I got with my husband. I think anytime you have a major life change, as I have had these last 6 months, learning how to live as a single mom, something that I never really wanted, because I just wanted things to be different, and they were. You know, God's got a plan that we don't always understand, but I just want to encourage, especially the ladies, but also the men. You know, again, when you have a major life change, take some time to get to know who you are, what you like, what your preferences are. Take some time before you just jump back into something, a long-term relationship. Don't make any major decisions, and that's what I'm learning. Don't make any major decisions when something disrupts your life, such as a death of a spouse. I'm saying these different things because out of all the people that I've known that have lost their spouses, some of them may have been married not that long, like 5 years or something like that. Some of them were married for 30, 40, 50 years, you know. But nobody ever really explained that, how much of a loss it is. Like, you know it's a loss. You know it's a loss. But not how much. Not how much you have to relearn about yourself. Not how much you have to just pretty much figure out But I'm walking and I'm just seeing my son.
Hello.
That is TJB24. He's also on YouTube, TikTok. I guess we're just becoming one of those families. But anyway, yeah, I'm learning that it's a lot of things that you have to find out as you go along. You take one step at a time, one day at a time. But you learn, especially you learn if you really believe that all things work together for the good. You know what I mean? But yeah, taking time, get to know even what you like to eat. Because, like, for instance, for such a long time, I cooked based around what my husband helped with when I did cook. And even when we went different places, a lot of it was based around whether he was going to be able to get something that wouldn't be too detrimental to his blood pressure and things such as that. And, you know, learning to eat healthy based on what your health needs are is different from eating healthy based upon what somebody else or your spouse's is. It's just a lot of little things like that. It doesn't mean that you don't miss the person, because Lord knows I still miss my husband a lot. It's just that I didn't realize how much you truly become one over the years. And now that part of you is gone, and you just got to allow yourself some time, some space, and some wherewithal to get to know you and not get so lonely that you jump into something that will mess you up for the rest of your life. I've seen that happen before. I've seen people, and I understand it now. When you're used to being with somebody, see, it's one thing if you used to being with somebody for a little while and then you break up and you cry and you cry for a little while and then you move on. You know, I've never been divorced, so I won't even. But I know that's like a different type of death as well. When you've been married to somebody and then you get a divorce. But when they die, when your spouse die, they're not coming back. It ain't number one way you're gonna see them again. That's if you go cross over there and y'all go end up in the same place. And depends on where that person goes. You might not want to go that place on the other side. But yeah, I guess long story short, I guess what I'm basically saying is when you have a major breakup, a major shakeup in your life, don't jump in and make a lot of decisions. I'll tell you, it's not just your love life, but it's also financial things. Like my house, I didn't realize how much work I'm gonna have to do on it. And I was just sharing that with a few people I've shared it with. And some of the people, if I was you, I would just sell it. I would just fix it up, make it cosmetically good, and I would just sell it. How you stand in that house with somebody where somebody died anyway? just a lot of negative talk. And so what I've learned is you have to be careful, number one, who you share stuff with. Number two, you have to be careful with going with your emotions. Because emotionally, I might would have done that. But at the same time, this is the only home my children have known. And I've lived in this house for over 20 years now. So it's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's not like some place that I just moved in and the only thing that's there is tragedy. It's not that simple. It's memories. It's my first child. It's my last child. It's the only place that I've lived in where my grandmother before she passed away and my papa before he passed away, they came to stay with us there. It's memories. It's Christmases, and it's Thanksgiving dinners. It's birthdays. It's memories. And so you have to take time, get to know what you need to do. Now, I will say this, guys, what people don't tell you about death, about losing a spouse, is that insurance money don't come in like you think it's going to come in. It doesn't come in as quickly as you think, even to bury, unless you got just a burial policy. Now, if you just have a burial policy, then the people that's going to be doing the funeral home, they'll work with you on that. But other than that, you got to have a backup plan just in case that money don't come in exactly. It's going to come in, but just in case it don't come in exactly as fast as you want it to do, when it comes to taking care of the arrangements. I've had to take care of arrangements before, but in those cases, honestly, it wasn't a whole lot of money, so we had to go move some money around to help the family at the time. We didn't have it like that. We had to go move some things around to get it like that. So, yeah, that's just a little helpful hint, just in case, God forbid, you find yourself in a situation like I've been in. And then also with insurance, it's a certain length of time that you have. You're on a time limit. It doesn't come like you think it's going to come, but it also, with certain policies, you have a time limit to get it. I think up to 12 months. So to file for it, it may take, a little while to get it, but you got to file for it within 12 months. So, yeah, everything is a learning process. Thank God I was probably a nosy wife, so I always asked questions, the hard questions that he didn't always want to answer. Some of them I found that he didn't answer fully, so I had to do a little research, but not so much till it was hard on me. So don't be like a co-worker of mine, and I have a lot of respect for her, but I learned that one lesson from her, because she's old enough to be my mom, but I learned that a lesson from her. Men keep secrets. I know people always talk about women keeping secrets, but baby, let me tell you, men, they keep secrets. I know a lady, and this is back when I was in my early 20s. Her husband died, and she didn't know where anything was. And by the time everything came up, and what I mean by anything, she didn't know what insurance policies he had. She didn't know how to pay her bills, where to go to pay her bills, because he did everything. Okay, it sounds good to let somebody do everything for you, but when tragedy hits and you don't know anything, and you gotta go get a lawyer, your brother, or somebody to help you dig up all this information while you're grieving at the same time. Well, come to find out, by the time her lawyer and her brother got together to help her out, the man had he had property in a whole nother state that he put in his mama name. He had another house, and when I'm saying property, he had like 20 something, I think it's like 25 acres, and a house that he had over there. All that she didn't know about, he had put it in his mother's name. Yeah, he wasn't looking out for her, and there's nothing wrong with a man looking out for his mom, but you should be upfront about it. That's all I'm saying. Men keep secrets. But it was like, to be honest, in that case, it was kind of like he was planning to leave, but tragedy struck, and he got killed in a car wreck, and all these things came out. So as bad as that was, she found out what she was married to all those years, thinking that he was looking all out for her, but all the time he was looking out for himself. So you have to be mindful of things, because at the end of the day, oh yeah, and there was a policy that he had that went straight to his mother, and yeah, went straight to his mom, and come to find out he had a girlfriend too. So it was a lot of stuff she found out after her husband died. And I didn't have those kind of problems, but I did find out some things about my spouse that I didn't 100% know. So be mindful that nobody is perfect, and when they die, whatever secrets they have, you know, some people think secrets die with you. They don't. A lot of times they come back at the hardest time. And so again, you got to get to know yourself, how you feel about it. You got to let things kind of settle you down. Don't get to the place where you're so lonely you want somebody to be in the house with you. You want to be able to go out to eat with somebody and all that you make decisions that will be harmful to you. Because I know another lady that happened to her. She got married a little bit too quick and ended up losing everything her and her husband had worked hard for. So be mindful, because when you're a widow and when you first, especially if you're somebody that really loves your spouse, when it first happened, you're very vulnerable. You're very vulnerable. You don't never know if you're really thinking straight from here or from here, from your emotions. I think the good thing about me is I'm a more of a practical person. So I think things out before I do it. But if you already a person that go or get swayed by your emotions a lot, then you can get taken advantage of when your situations change abruptly. But anyway, be prayerful. Stay close to God so He can give you wisdom in the midst of your storm. And know that all things do work together for the good. I'm still trying to figure out how this is working together for my good. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But I do believe that is one of my favorite scriptures. It's always been one of my favorite scriptures. I've been through a lot in my life. And that scripture has kept me grounded. Because I know that I'm not in control, that God is in control, and I trust His will. Sometimes it seems like His will is some of the hardest things, but His will His will has to be done, and it's going to be done. But it will work out for your good. Be blessed. If you got anything out of what I've said, I know I mumbled and kind of mumbled a lot because I got a lot on my mind. But if you got anything, I just like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment in the comment section. Be blessed. I'm out.